This is going to be a very interesting video. I have signed up to do the Zoe Nutrition diet test. Today is the day where I'm kind of prepping and getting everything ready, but I thought it'd be really interesting to document this whole journey, this whole process, and let you know exactly what it's like. I'm going to be very honest, very transparent as always. But you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, I've always struggled kind of with my digestive system. I've had a lot of problems in the past with bloating, and this is gonna be TMI, just FYI, but kind of being regular, I get constipated all the time. I am on a mission this year to kind of work out what my body does and doesn't like, and really take that step into understanding my body more and being more healthy, basically. So I listened to a podcast at the start of the year. I think it was the Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, interviewing Tim Spector, all about gut bacteria and this Zoe program that he has developed. He was talking all about the importance of having and maintaining a really healthy gut bacteria. Apparently there are loads of really good bacteria in your gut and loads of really bad bacteria in your gut, and these can control so many different aspects of your life, from your mood to mental health, weight. Since then I've been trying to incorporate more of the foods that can help boost the good bacteria in your gut. So I've been having loads of kombucha. I've really gotten into my kimchi recently and my pickled kind of vegetables. I'm really loving gherkins and pickling my own onions and stuff like that. But I thought this would be a great way to really start understanding my body. Little intro there, but let's just tell you more about what the Zoe program nutrition guide test is. So apparently after completing the Zoe test, I will understand how my body responds to food. I will be able to pick food that I know is suitable for my body and adopt some new healthy habits when it comes to eating and choosing my meals, and develop healthy strategies, apparently, which will help me to sustain long-term change. Apparently throughout the process I'm gonna start feeling fuller for longer. I'm going to feel more energized. I'm going to sleep better. I'll have a healthier gut, reach my kind of goal weight, improve my long-term health, and feel confident about food and my body and my food choices. So that, to me, like that list of things I just read out, just sounds fantastic. And if I could improve my mood and my confidence and be able to sleep better, because I really struggle with sleep as well. This kit was kind of expensive. They had a bit of a discount when I signed up. I think it was about 20% off. Let me find my receipt so I can tell you exactly, because I know you're going to be interested. Okay, so my at-home test kit cost me £299. I've paid in instalments of £50. I think it's 14-day free trial. I'm probably going to ignore that and just continue with it because I am really interested in the whole process. Yeah, that is with a discount on it as well, so it is pricey, but science behind it, and if it works, would just be kind of priceless. So as I said, I'm going to document this whole journey starting from today, which is the day before the test kicks off. So tomorrow is day one of the test, and it's actually going to be the most intense and grueling day of it because it includes a lot of fasting, a lot of samples that I need to do and send off, a lot of food which I'm not quite looking forward to eating. So go ahead and open my box and we can go through it all together because I need to set everything up today. It looks like this. So you have a little leaflet which we can go through in a sec, and then we have a blood sugar sensor, a gut health test, and a finger prick test. So this will test my blood, this will test my like a stool sample, and this will kind of show me my blood sugar levels and glucose spikes throughout the day. Underneath these we have a box of the famous Zoe Test muffins, which I'm sure if you are interested in this you've probably heard about before. Mine are currently in the freezer because you have to freeze your muffins as soon as you get them so that they are nice and fresh for you when you're able to start the test. So I'm actually going to get mine out now and put them in the fridge to defrost for the test day tomorrow. My husband is also doing this test with me, which is exciting. So we've got 2 sets of muffins in here. Here they are. So each of us have 3 breakfast muffins and 2 lunch muffins. I'll get to this bit tomorrow, but you have to eat them within 15 minutes, which I am a bit anxious about because that is very quick and I tend to be a very slow eater. When you receive your box, you have to download the app and fill out quite a few questionnaires. The whole kind of course is run on the app, which is really great so far. I was having problems scanning my box, but the person on the customer service chat answered me really quickly, got me all set up, and it said it took like 24 to 48 hours for them to respond, but they replied within like 30 minutes, which was fantastic. And this app will teach you and guide you through every step of the process. In this test, we're going to be learning about my blood sugar and my fat responses after eating and how that can influence my gut microbes. We'll learn in real time as I complete my blood sugar challenges, so I can start building habits to flatten my blood sugar curve. So basically, when you eat a meal, blood sugar, depending on how your body reacts to certain stuff, can either spike or kind of just level flat. And everybody's body is different and everyone will have different responses to certain meals. Even if you're really healthy, your blood sugar could spike at stuff that other people's doesn't. So this is about learning to work out what spikes my blood sugar so I know to either avoid them or have them less regularly. So for example, I could be having a really healthy porridge with banana and honey and nuts and seeds in for breakfast. Even though I think that's really healthy for me, if I find out that my blood sugar is spiking and then causing me to really badly crash, that probably isn't a good option, and something better for me might be some sourdough toast with some eggs, which doesn't sound quite as healthy, but for me would be better for my blood sugar levels. Hope that makes sense. There's loads of research online you can go and look up to. I will leave all the links down below. And then from my stool sample, I will also be able to tell what good and bad gut bacteria I have in my intestines, and they will give me guidance on what foods to eat to build up more good gut bacteria and get rid of all that bad stuff. I'm really hoping this will help my bloating, and it's going to be intense. Like, it's going to be really a long process to kind of do this initial test, get the results, and then try and figure out how to make my diet work best for me. But I'm very excited. I guess the first thing is to set up this blood sugar sensor. It looks like this. The packaging's really nice. So, ready to discover the power of balancing your blood sugar holds the secret to beating the 3 p.m. slump, achieving a healthy weight and feeling full for longer, which is very important. This is going to tell me how to put it on, how to set it up. I have a little plaster here. Oh, we've got a couple of ones. Oh, and an alcohol wipe. And then in here we have the sensor. It delivers an automatic glucose reading every single minute to my phone app, which is going to be like, I can see myself getting really addicted to looking how my blood sugar levels are doing all the time.
Senior nutrition scientist at Zoe.
We're both doing it together.
In your Zoe Test kit, you'll find a blood sugar sensor. This sensor will measure your blood sugar levels continuously for up to 14 days. Use a blood sugar sensor at Zoe to understand your blood sugar responses to food. You can also test foods that you're curious about, or put scientific concepts to the test with our blood sugar challenges. When you eat, your blood sugar levels rise and fall, and this is totally normal. But for you, some foods may cause unhealthy blood sugar spikes and dips. When you eat foods that trigger these spikes and dips, you're more likely to feel hungry and tired. Over time, this can lead to excess inflammation in the body, which is linked to poor health. We'll use your blood sugar measurements to recommend foods that are best for you and your biology. This will help you keep your blood sugar levels stable so you feel less hungry and tired throughout the day.
Okay, I'm gonna go for it. Didn't feel anything at all. There she is. That actually didn't hurt at all, did it?
I can feel it now though.
Can you? Okay, so now I've got this different app which I'm going to use to scan. Yep. Yes, found it. Sensor ready in 60 minutes. the countdown begins to when I can start looking at the results. I've got to say, so far this has been so easy and so sophisticated. Next up on my app, it says that in an hour at 3:40 I need to check my sensor just to make sure it's working, and I guess I'll be able to start seeing my blood sugar levels. And yeah, I've defrosted my muffins so I can mark that task as complete, and we're pretty much ready to go. So tomorrow's like the main test day. You guys all have to do if you also sign up, and that basically means that this evening I need to fast overnight for 8 hours, which is normal. I pretty much fast, like everyone fasts overnight anyway, as long as they're not getting up in the middle of the night to have midnight snacks. So yeah, 8 hours fasting. And then tomorrow, anytime I need to do my gut health test, which is my stool sample. I will document how I find that. Full transparency.
I'm not that.
Jeff won't be filming that bit. And then I will need to start the test. So I will need to eat 3 of those breakfast muffins. Bear in mind they're quite big, within 15 minutes. And like, the only drink you can have before that is plain coffee, plain water or plain tea, like no milk. Avoid strenuous exercise and fast for another 4 hours, and then eat my lunch muffins within 15 minutes, and then fast for another 2 hours, also avoiding exercise. And then I will have to send off my blood test as soon as I finished the muffin challenge. Then I will need to pop to the post box to send off my poo and my blood samples. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be really interesting. I'll document all of it. We've chosen to do it on a Saturday so that we're both at home and haven't really got any plans. So this is my app the day before, and I need to do a diet assessment, which I think is going to take a little bit of a while. It's going to be used to give me personalised food advice when my results are ready. They're going to be looking at foods that I've eaten over the past month, and then how often I've eaten each of them. So yeah, this could take a while. Definitely apples, bananas, grape, melon, oranges. Yeah, I think it's going to go through like every single food category. But it's quite interesting to kind of have an overview of exactly what I've been eating and what's in my diet. It is Zoe Test day. We've been fasting. I think we've been fasting for about 14 hours, and I've woken up with a huge list of things to do today. So let's quickly run through it. Today is the most important day of the whole challenge. So I have to test my blood sugar sensor, do my gut health test, which is my stool sample, watch a lesson about what's with all the muffins, eat and log my muffins, fast for 4 hours, eat and log my lunch muffins, fast for another 2 hours, then do my blood test, and then mail all the samples to the lab. So test my blood sugar sensor. Yes, mine is working. Looks like this. So I had a couple of quite like low dips yesterday, and I was a bit worried that my blood glucose level was too low for the average person, but it seems to have kind of leveled out. I think I'm going to heat these up. It says you can put them in the microwave for 20 to 30 seconds for better flavour. I'm going to get these all ready, and then we can sit down and eat them. Both having like an Earl Grey tea with no milk, no sugar, and lots of water throughout the day. Whoa, look at all those muffins!
They smell a bit rank actually.
1, 2, 3.
Right, what time is it? Who's got 10:52?
They smell very sweet and like kind of cakey. How's it taste?
I imagine it tastes like if I tried to make a cake.
Oh. Whoa. I'm so dry.
Something that's like synthetic, isn't it? It's like eating Amazon packaging. I don't mind them though, I don't mind the taste.
This is like, it's just such a massive mouthful. It's like cardboard in my mouth.
Oh, it's rude. That's so
15 minutes. I feel so shit after this. The worst breakfast. They're huge as well. 5 minutes per muffin.
I've got till 7 minutes past 11.
The texture of them is so dense. It'd be interesting to watch it spike now. I've got like 30 seconds to finish this muffin. And I've still got 2 more to go. I've got stomach cramps.
Final muffin.
What? You need to slow down, don't you?
I quite like them.
What? You've only got 1 left. Why am I struggling so much? 1 down, good to go. 2 muffins down, and I've gone over the time limit, but I've got 1 more muffin left which I've broken into pieces. It does say you have up until 90 minutes to complete the test, so I'm starting to feel so awful. I'm taking it a bit slower. But yeah, they are not nice. You started to not enjoy them at all.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy them from the beginning. And I love cake. Right, so then anytime today or tomorrow I need to do the gut health test. Tell me everything I need to do. So basically I need to put like a piece of paper over the toilet to catch, and then I need to mix it around in a tube, which just sounds absolutely rank, but all in the name of science. Tube I need to put it into. This is going to be quite intense. Specimen bag, some gloves, and then the little catcher here. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I am all done. That was pretty self-explanatory. Now I'm gonna pop and post this in the afternoon. A bit gross though, I've got to say, that wasn't good. It's been exactly 4 hours since we had the breakfast muffins, which means it's now time for the lunch muffins, and the app has been really good. It's like giving us a timer and notifications about when we need to eat and fast. So the lunch muffins look quite different. I think they're gonna, yeah, the texture and taste of them will hopefully be slightly different, because oh my god, I could not hack the breakfast ones. And I'm going to heat them up. I think this cat wants some. Right, let's do this. We're watching some telly to distract ourselves. I'm so hungry now, I need to eat some. They do taste sweeter and less dense, so they're easier to eat. One down. I feel like I'm going to do it within 15 minutes. It really hurt my tongue. Maybe I'm allergic to it.
Did the barcode work?
Did it? Yeah, did the barcode. Did it in 10 minutes. And I never want to see or eat another muffin ever again in my life. We've got to fast for 2 hours, and then we're doing our blood finger prick test. It's been 2 hours since our lunch muffins, so now we need to do our blood test, which is a bit I'm kind of nervous about, because I've done this before and it's I've really struggled to get enough blood out, so I'm probably not going to vlog too much of this because I know I'm going to be panicking, but hopefully it goes smoothly. And what I basically need to do is put blood on this card right here, and then wait an hour as it travels upwards, and seal it in this bag before putting it in the box to post. So G's doing it now. Painful. So it is Sunday, and yesterday we sent off all of our samples very successfully, and today on my app I've got a load of like lessons that I need to fill out and complete. So I need to start logging every single thing I eat on the app, and the app's really easy to use. There's a little button here, and you can say whether you're having breakfast, lunch, dinner or a snack and the time, and then you can like search for foods and log it. Look what I had for dinner last night at McDonald's. After eating those muffins all day, I needed something delicious. So I've got some lessons to do on what is blood sugar control, how to get the most out of my sensor. I need to prepare for my challenges, browse the challenge library, complete my profile and personalise my... Sit down this afternoon and do those. Probably with some lunch, which I'm going to make now. And over the next 3 days I need to track everything I eat on the Zoe app, because I think they're going to use that data alongside my monitor to work out how my body responds to, I guess, the normal foods that I'm eating. So we're like 6 days in now to the process, and today starts Zoe Challenge 102, so it's like the second part of the process where I can start doing some food challenges. So it's so interesting, and you know what, I've learned so much the past few days, because on the app every day there's a new set of lessons to like learn for, and I actually learned that this doesn't only test your blood sugar levels but also your blood fat levels. I had no idea that after you've eaten, some of the fat from the food goes into your bloodstream. Like, I had no idea about that. So the blood test part of the challenge the other day, the finger prick, was to test how quickly that fat in our blood kind of gets separated and like filters out, so how quickly we can process that kind of fat, which is so interesting. But anyway, yeah, today is day But yes, today I am starting a blood sugar challenge, which is 5 days long. It basically means that you're going to be testing out your sensor so you can get the most out of wearing it, because it only lasts for 2 weeks. They've put together this challenge which will teach you in real time how different factors impact your blood sugar responses. So it'll be like combining foods and doing different activities around the same foods to kind of test how different the results are. This part of the challenge is optional, but you're wearing the sensor, so you might as well like go for it. The blood sugar challenge will help me learn about if all calories are equal, and that will be by eating a high carb food. Then the challenge 2 is I'll eat a high fat, high protein food. Then I'm going to combine the high carb with the high fat and see what that does for me. Then I'm going to eat the high carb and then do 30 minutes of exercise and see how that affects my blood sugar levels. And then challenge 5 is food sequencing. So I'll eat the high fat, high protein, and then I'll eat the high carb. So it has a list of what you can choose from. So the high carb ingredient options is plain white bread, plain bagel, gluten-free bread, white rice, couscous or oats. If you have the oats, I think you can mix it with water, but everything else is like plain. And then the high fat, high protein options are cheddar cheese, almonds, avocado, nut butter, ham, bacon or plain Greek yogurt. I mean, I love the idea of doing the bacon, but the quantities that you have to eat in order for this to test it properly is quite a lot, and I can't imagine just sitting down to eat like 4 slices of bacon tomorrow for breakfast. So what you need to do is you need to fast for 8 hours overnight, eat your meal, log it in the app, and then fast for another 3 hours and you can check your blood sugar sensor. And then there are loads of other challenges you can do. So I've chosen plain white bread. It says 3 slices. I don't think I can do that. I just think there's no occasion where I would ever eat 3 slices of bread. I'm going to be testing 2 slices of white bread. I'm hoping this isn't quite as dry as muffins. And then for my high fat protein, I've chosen cheddar cheese. So today I'm having this for breakfast. Tomorrow I'm having cheddar cheese for breakfast. And then the third day I can have like a cheese sandwich for breakfast. It'll be really interesting to see the results. What else can I tell you? I did some exercise this morning. I'm not sure if I was supposed to do that before my challenge, but I did. I did half an hour on the Peloton and it's given me a little spike. Don't know if you can see that. I think that's my body just realising she needs some sugar in her blood to exercise better. So like it gave me a boost. I'm not quite sure. I had a humongous spike 2 days ago. I had dinner, which was fine, and then I finished it off with a glass of Vimto squash, and my spike, like I had the biggest spike so far, which was quite worrying, but apparently normal. I'm not entirely sure. The one thing this doesn't really tell us is like what's normal and what's not, so we're finding ourselves like panicking quite a lot, but I feel like we just need a little bit more guidance and advice on what a normal graph looks like. Do my today's lessons on my app and enjoy my 2 slices of dry plain bread with a plain Earl Grey black tea. 53 grams!
57?
Oh shit. 58 that would be. Which this is my breakfast for tomorrow morning. That is so much cheese. For the Zoe test.
Can you do mine?
Yeah. Yum yum yum. That is so much cheese. Day 2 of this blood sugar challenge, and yesterday I had those 2 pieces of white bread. Today I've got so much cheese, 57 grams of cheddar. I have made myself a plain black tea with it as well, so yeah, I'm going to work on eating this and then I will show you the comparison between what this does for my blood sugar and then the bread. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking loving having cheese for breakfast. Okay, today is day 3 of the blood sugar fat challenge. So let me show you the results when I had the bread. That first spike was exercise. I probably shouldn't have done that beforehand because I imagine it affected the results, but that second spike there is when I had my 2 slices of bread. The guideline is 3 slices, but I was just like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna do 2. And then compare that to yesterday when I had all that cheese. I had so much cheese and I hardly had a spike. I think, yeah, it was around here. I had the tiniest spike, which is so mad considering I always thought that cheese was going to be worse for me than bread because it's so fatty. So yeah, it is teaching me a lot. So today's experiment is eating cheese with bread. So I've just got a cheese sandwich, a very plain dry cheese sandwich. I'm going to eat this and see what this does. Super interesting so far. The time has come to take our sensors off. It has been 2 weeks today. I'm getting this bad boy off and I'm so excited about it because it's getting to the point where I'm getting a little bit annoyed with it now. And I've been slowly peeling the plaster off for the past week. Then pull up the edge of the adhesive and slowly peel away from the sensor in one motion. Okay, it's out. That was like the worst bit for me. It was like on the par of eating those muffins. Yeah, cheese doesn't look like this. Cheese just looks a bit bruised, but I think I've got a little bit of like plaster allergy. I tend to like get a reaction. So this is what it is looking like. And I don't want to put everyone off, but this tiny needle is what's been in our arm for the past 2 weeks. Ooh. I'll be back when we get our results. So my results have been sent through. So I'm gonna run you through my results now and then tell you a little bit about what I've been doing since. So I got sent over 2 PDFs. One is called My Insights and the other is called My Gut Health. So on My Insights, it's all about my blood fat levels and my blood sugar levels. It's my dietary information profile and an introduction to food scores. So food scores are now going to be how I change my results and get healthier. I think when I originally signed up, I ticked that I wanted to maintain a healthy weight and that I wanted to increase my energy levels and not get hungry so much. And so by following the Zoe food scores that it now gives me, I can try and get my body to those goals. This is a big document and there is loads of stuff in there to read up. Yeah, it's a lot. I do think you would need like an hour or so to sit down, understand your results fully, and then also on the app it starts round 3 of kind of lessons and tests. So every day there'll be new lessons and challenges in your Zoe app. In fact, I'll show you this in a sec because it's really interesting. I've really been enjoying the app so far. So my blood sugar control, and that is how my blood sugar spikes after a meal and if it dips after a meal. I thought this was going to be really bad because I usually crash after a meal. Normally the first one asleep on the sofa at a family gathering after eating my roast dinner. So I thought this would be pretty bad. And it was calculated by the Muffin challenge. So they compared my blood sugar spike to thousands of other people who've also done this test with those same specific muffins. There's literally a diagram here that shows how my score ranked against everyone else's. So as you can see, yeah, I don't think my response was too bad. And from that, they've worked out that I have scored an 81, which is excellent blood sugar control. And they've also done a comparison to other people of similar age and sex to me. I'm definitely on the upper side of that scale, which is incredible. And then they've given me some info on how to manage my blood sugar responses, and that is every food that you eat will be on this Zoe app and it will tell you how your blood sugar scores in response to that food. So when I'm making my food choices, for example, we had some white rice for dinner last night, I was able to immediately see how that would kind of impact my blood sugar spike, which was, yeah, the app is been so interesting to use. So that will encourage me to kind of swap them out for healthier choices that won't spike my blood sugar so much. And then for my blood fat control, I have learned so much about biology doing Zoe. Like, I had no idea that when you ate a meal, fats from that food will go into your bloodstream. I just had no idea about that. But basically it's about how quickly your blood can clear that fat, because the more fat it has and the more it holds on to it, the more risk I think you've got of having high cholesterol, inflammation and clogging and all that stuff. So on average I think it takes about 6 to 8 hours for someone to clear the fats from their blood, and they've done this again by testing the muffins. So remember that I did a finger prick test after the muffin challenges. That was basically to see if I still had that fat in my blood when I did the test. Very, very interesting stuff. Again, I scored a 79, which is an excellent here, which I was really surprised at. I'm aware that a lot of this could be due to my age, because Jeff's scores have been so different to mine. It's been really interesting. So yeah, I was really happy about that. And again, on the Zoe app, you can see how each food will score for your blood fat levels. Making the right choices. An avocado fat is going to be way better than a burger fat, you know what I mean. And then they go into the food scores. So we've used your results to score and predict your responses for millions of foods, and then put them into categories. Category 1 is something you should eat once in a while. The second is in moderation. And then there are foods that you can enjoy regularly, but maybe not in large quantities. And then there's foods that I can enjoy freely. So predicted to be best for my metabolism. I can have these every day and in big quantities. So when I go on the app now, for example, I can look at, say, fruits. There's a category for every type of food, and it does them in kind of descending order, so I can see immediately something that scores 98 for me is passion fruit, and then avocado, blackberries, raspberries, and then you go right down, and I shouldn't be eating many raisins or dates or watermelons or figs, which is so interesting because I had loads of those last time. I'll come back to the app in a sec. This document is huge. I haven't even like scratched the surface of reading this. Then there's also the gut health. So this is basically from the stool sample that I did. It's basically telling me what good and bad bacteria I have in my gut, and also some info on how to increase and make a happier gut microbiome. So I kind of thought this would score bad for me. I've always had problems with bloating, constipation. Definitely think I've got IBS. I haven't been diagnosed with it, but I have had a colonoscopy. If you want to see that video, I've vlogged it all, and I'll link that in the description box. And up here, I did the low FODMAP diet during lockdown, and that really helped with my bloating. And I definitely tend to steer clear of foods that I know bloat me up, like chickpeas, cabbage, cauliflower, especially raw, makes me blow up. So I'm not sure how much Zoe is taking. Like, Zoe won't know that, and it's not going to really take that into account. So whilst it will offer me foods that it thinks will be great for my bacteria, only I really know how my body reacts to stuff like that. But maybe once I get really good bacteria in my gut, I won't have such a bad problem with those kind of issues. So my result is poor. I scored 46, which is not good. It could be affected by loads of different factors, antibiotics for example, and I was on antibiotics for 3 months earlier this year, so that could definitely have impacted this. They have predicted that there are 15 good bugs that live in your gut that are regularly associated with better health. I have like 3 of them, which isn't good. Like, there are so many that I'm missing. And then there are bad bugs, and I've got quite a lot of these. So the top one I've got is called Ester. I have 0.77% of Ester in my gut, and the average is 0.044, so I've got like more than average, like a bit more than average. And she is associated with less favourable fat profile and lower polyunsaturated fat levels. So in the Zoe app, there is a list of personalised gut suppressors. They have been associated with bad microbes that you want to reduce, and then there are personalised gut boosters, which will help me get that good stuff back in my gut. Since then, it's really been a case of me trying to understand what foods work well for me. And as I said, there are so many different lessons, like say goodbye to calories, think about your ultimate why, how we score foods, get familiar with your 50+ food, can you guess these food scores. Like, there's so much. And there's even meals. So I went on this yesterday looking for a good lunch meal that would really boost, like be good for my blood fat, my blood sugar and my gut, and I found one. Like, each of them has a little score here, so you can see what they will score for me. And I found one, it was Rissa sweet potato steaks with butter beans and kale. This says it scores an 86 for me. I should enjoy it freely, and it's good for all of my body. And then it has the recipes, you can change how many people it serves, and the method. So I made this up yesterday. It was really delicious, and I did bloat up, but it definitely wasn't as painful as it used to be. I can also check my profile and like run through all my results on the app as well. Basically, the next part of Zoe is making sure that every day you're reaching at least a 75 in your food score. So I can see that my food score for Monday, when I first started trying to do this, was a 67. I tried really well. It's still green, it's not up to 75, but I had a really delicious omelette, so it scored me 90. It's good for all my gut health, blood sugar, blood fat and you can see each of the ingredients has a little kind of like green score next to it. There was nothing bad in that meal that my body didn't like. For dinner I had some chicken wraps, and it said it was poor for my gut health. I think that's because it had tortilla wraps, and yeah, that's not going to be great for my gut. But what I'm thinking is if I just load everything up with loads of vegetables, loads of varied vegetables and good fats and seeds, then I don't see why my gut health won't improve. I also had a Bailey's pina colada which brought my score down so much, so that was probably why it was so low that day. But yesterday I hit a score of 74, which is so good. So yesterday I had that sweet potato butter bean thing for lunch. I had white fish and some rice and kimchi and loads of vegetables for dinner. That scored me 58. And then that evening for a snack, I made myself a little fruit pot. So I had raspberries, melon, fresh figs, cinnamon, almonds. I got some yogurt in there, and that scored me an 85. It wasn't great for my blood sugar, I think, because of all the sugars in those fruits, but it was good as a score overall. So I am going to continue with this. So what I might do is do this for a few weeks, document some meals that I'm eating and what they score for me, and then at the end of this video I'll be able to give you a little rundown about if I'm feeling any different in myself. I really want my energy levels to be up. This isn't related, but it could affect things a little bit, is that I've now been diagnosed as slightly anemic. I'm really low on iron. I'm now taking iron tablets. That is affecting my score a little bit because I'm having to have a glass of orange juice every time I take those pills to absorb the iron more, and that orange juice doesn't score very well for me, so that will be affecting things. But yeah, I think it would be really interesting in a couple of weeks to come back, tell you how easy it is to follow and stick to, highs and lows, some meals and recipes, and yeah, that would be part 1 of this video done. So I'll see you as I go. The time has come for me to properly give you my pros and cons and my full thoughts about Zoe. Would I recommend it? Would I do it again? Am I going to continue with what I've learned so far? I've written a list. Let's get it out. Don't mind me, I'm also in bed with a cup of tea. Let's start with my list of pros. Pro number 1, for the first time in my life, in my adult life, I have lost weight and been able to maintain it. And I know that that is going to be a huge selling point for the people interested and looking into Zoe. When I first signed up, I think I put I wanted to reach and maintain a healthy weight for myself. Not really yo-yo dieted throughout my life ever, but I found myself steadily over the years just like increasing in weight. I would like lose it. I lost quite a bit around the time of our wedding, not because I was purposefully trying to, but because I had like Invisalign teeth straightening, and that meant I only had like 2 hours a day to eat all my food, so I naturally just wasn't stacking as much. After that I put on all the weight again. Right now I've been maintaining around the same kind of number on the scale for a while without really trying to do anything different, which is really great to know that if I stick to this and if I eat better, which sounds so obvious, then yeah, I can continue to maintain this. Pro number 2 is that I discovered I really love eating all the good stuff. Zoe has a really great way of making this kind of fun. It doesn't feel like a diet, it doesn't feel like you're restricting yourself from anything, but you're just making better food choices which have such a positive, great effect. It really encourages you to eat lots of beans, lots of legumes, lots of vegetables, lots of variety, lots of seeds, nuts, herbs. And I've discovered that I actually really freaking enjoy eating beans. I love butter beans, I love black beans. I'm still not a massive fan of chickpeas because they really ruin my stomach, but I really never ever had butter beans or cannellini beans at home ever before doing this, and now it's become such a staple in my food week that I really enjoy. So it's made me kind of fall in love with eating good food that I know does amazing stuff for my body as well. Pro number 3, I feel healthier, I feel less puffy, I feel like I'm strong, I feel good in myself. Sometimes I'm not sleeping as good, but my energy levels are high and I feel way less hungry throughout the day, which is fantastic. 4, I know Oh, my doorbell's going on. Sorry, my doorbell just went. I know what I need to be eating now for my body, which is personal for everyone. But I know what to eat if I want to be the healthiest I've ever been. I understand what foods my body does and doesn't like and respond to, but I don't always stick to it, which I guess we will come on to. I love the recipes on the app and the food scoring system. There's a great selection of recipes in different categories, and the food scoring system is so smart. The fact that it's personalised to you, and foods will score differently for everyone depending on their bodies, their age, their height, yeah, I think it's very smart, it's very clever, and it makes it fun because it kind of gamifies eating well. I've just opened my app now and I've immediately got a little tab that says high fibre recipes for you, because I tend to fall short in my fibre intake, which it can tell me because if I log my foods on the app, it will just say how much fibre I'm hitting, how much protein, how many calories, everything, and I can immediately see loads of recipes that are high fibre and what they score for me, and a lot of them are very good and also sound very delicious. One thing that I've loved is that you can scan recipe cards to the app. So if you're making a meal, for example, in my case, I'm making a lot of gusto meals for dinner, I can just take a picture of the recipe card with all the ingredients. It will automatically input that into the app for me as a meal, so I don't have to manually find and input every single individual ingredient, which is a lot of time, which saves a lot of time. Also, I like how nothing is completely restricted. I don't feel bad that I'm eating what I want as long as I'm still eating lots of good stuff alongside it. Hope that makes sense. I think earlier I showed you that they have different categories for food, like eat as freely and as often as you want, and then donuts, for example, have them as an occasional treat. Nothing is completely restricted. It's not like I can't have chocolate, but if I have chocolate and I want to increase my score for the day, I just got to eat a lot of more good stuff for my body. Lots of beans, lots of kimchi, lots of kombucha, lots of matcha, lots of vegetables and fruit. They are the pros. Now onto the cons. It is very, very expensive, and it is more expensive than I originally thought. When I first signed up, and this is just me not doing my research properly, but I think it's important to flag, when I first signed up I thought I was paying £300 for the testing, but it turns out I'm paying £300 for the testing, but also another £300 on top for the app for the year. The app is very expensive, and that is the bit that you want, because you want to be able to see what foods are scoring for you. You want to really learn how to make the best out of these results that you've been given, and the app is the only way to do that. So you kind of can't do it without either part of that, but it's so expensive, £600, which I didn't completely understand that I was getting myself into. I have cancelled my subscription for the app because otherwise next August I'd be paying another £300 for the whole year, which, oh my god, for an app is so expensive. I can't justify that cost. That is just something to be aware of. I guess in a sense, if you stick to it, and if it really improves your life and your quality of life and you get the results you want, it's kind of priceless. To be healthy and to be healthy from the inside out, it is kind of invaluable, but everyone knows to be healthy they just need to eat vegetables. So yeah, weigh that up and see if that is worth the money for you. Con 2, it takes a while to log all of the meals into the app, and I find that I don't do this. I actually haven't done this in about 2 months. I haven't logged any of my food or meals into the app because it's time consuming, and I find it a little bit harder to use than I did MyFitnessPal, which I used to use to track all my meals. I'm very aware that I'm not benefiting from the full effect at the moment because I'm not planning and scoring my meals, and I don't know what I'm scoring each day, but saying that, I am still maintaining a healthy weight and I feel good in myself. So this is just a picky one, but the measurements on the app are a bit weird. Sometimes when you go to log a food, it will give you like, it will say like how much of that food have you eaten, and it will say 1 portion or 1 milligram or 1 unit, and sometimes I'm like, well, can you tell me what a normal portion is, because I don't know what a normal portion is of this food. Like, I might be eating less than a portion but logging it as a portion, and then my scores are incorrect. Just a little nitpicky thing that I might actually message Zoe about, because I think that would be very useful to know. This next one is quite a big con, but it doesn't take IBS or any intolerances into account. So it will say for me chickpeas are like right at the top of what I should be eating, without taking into account that I really struggle with bloating. high FODMAP foods really do ruin my body sometimes, and there's no kind of consideration of that on the app. And I'm sure that this is something they're probably going to work on maybe later as it evolves, but for now, if there are certain foods that you know your body doesn't react to well, then yeah, just bear that in mind, because a lot of those recipes include chickpeas. I just normally end up eating them because I know that they're really good for me and suffering from the consequences of that, or just swapping them out for butter beans or leaving them out of the recipe completely. This is just another thing. I would love to retest my gut health to see it's improved. If you remember, my gut health result was so low, it was poor. I would love to see now, after making these changes for quarter of a year, I would love to retest and see if I've got more good bacteria in my gut. But there isn't an option for that. Apparently that is something they're working on. I messaged them about that and they said they're bringing this out. There will, I'm guessing, be an extra cost for that, which I don't know if I want to pay, but maybe I'll change my mind with that. But yeah, it's just worth bearing in mind that I don't actually know if all this kombucha and kimchi and all these vegetables are actually physically changing my gut health. If they were, I kind of feel like I wouldn't still be getting bloated so much. And then also the muffins were awful, but apparently they've changed these to cookies in the month since I last tested. So yeah, I saw them doing some stories about the fact that they aren't muffins anymore, they're cookies instead, which I would have much preferred. I love a biscuit. Am I going to stick to Zoe? Yes, I am, but not rigidly. I am going to continue eating so much varied food that I know scores well for me and that I really enjoy, but I'm also going to still enjoy what I want to eat. Like, I don't want this to be restrictive. I don't think that's sustainable. I still want to enjoy food. I'm about to go to Paris this week and I'm intending on eating all the steak frites and red wine and cheese, and I know that is going to score so badly for me, but I also know that when I come back home I have a great bunch of recipes that I know my body love and that I really enjoy, and that will keep me healthy. I'm absolutely going to stick to it, but I haven't been logging my meals, but I do want to get back into that because I would really be interested to know what I'm scoring day to day throughout the week. On weekends it tends to go out the window, but it'd still be very interesting to see if I'm hitting the right fibre protein intakes that I should be. There have been some massive changes in this household since we've done Zoe. For example, we used to get through a tub of butter in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We've had the same type of butter now for about 1.5 months and we still haven't finished it. Like, the changes that we've made, we don't feel like we have made huge changes, but if you look at our fridge and our cupboards and how our bodies are now and how we feel about ourselves now, the changes have been huge. But it doesn't feel like that. It hasn't felt like effort, which is, I guess, why I have loved this so much. Similarly with condiments, we got through so much ketchup, so much mayo. I hardly have mayo anymore, even though I love it, because I just don't feel like I need it. It's not necessary. And yeah, it's just little changes like that. Like, we used to have sandwiches for lunch every single day. I can't remember last time I had a sandwich. And I don't even feel like I miss it, because now I'm eating such delicious food, which, even though it takes a little bit longer to cook, I find really tasty and I really enjoy. And I guess that is, yeah, for me, what has been a little bit invaluable, the fact that I just enjoy food and eating healthy more these days. Jeff, my husband, also, he feels great in his body now, whereas before he was a little bit self-conscious about his stomach. Not anymore. He feels great about himself and he looks fab, and yeah, we both just feel good in ourselves, and I think that's invaluable. It's not like we're really dieting or losing loads of weight. We've just made changes that have been good for our body and they've paid off. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. It's been a really long one, I'm so sorry. You can watch it on double speed. But if you've got any questions, do let me know. Let me know if you're going to sign up too. I'd be very interested to know how many of you do after watching this video. Lots of love to you guys. I'll see you soon. Mwah.